name on the list.
You gotta,
Yeah, you got everybody, Don went around, got everybody.
you gotta make sure that we talk extra loud because the internet likes out here.
Everybody. Welcome to Woodsmoke's June 25th board meeting. If we'd all stand and remove our hats, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, at 10:13, Sunday, June 25th, we are starting our board meeting agenda. We're going to call the meeting to order and have a roll call of officers. Jim, would you like to do the roll call of officers?
Terry Perillo.
Here.
Jerry Parks.
Here.
Jim Reinhardt. Here. Kerry Levin.
Here.
Brian Kennedy. Here. Dave Owens.
Here.
Ray Bauer.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we'll have the reading of the minutes from the May 6th board meeting. We'd like to have a motion to accept them as printed. Can I have somebody make that
I
motion?
will make that motion.
Dave Owens makes the motion and Jerry seconds it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? None? Minutes have been approved. Reports, I'm going to hold my report till under new business. At this time, so it would be the Vice President. Dave, do you have anything to report?
No, good morning, thank you for coming. It's been a great start. I think there was a lot of fun and activity at the food trucks yesterday. The day went very good. Everybody was well behaved. Thank you. But I had nothing further to add at the moment.
Thanks, Dave.
We'll talk
Thanks.
about the construction or
Yeah.
the garbage stuff later.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Ray Bauer, Realty report?
Good morning, everyone. During May of 2023, there were 9 closings at Woodsmoke Ranch. Money paid to the Ranch Association for the month was $8,960.80. During 2023, there have been a total of 16 closings, with Association Ranch receiving $15,120.80. There were 72 sales in 2022, with the total amount going to Woodsmoke Association of $58,014.56. That concurs the report.
Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome.
Treasury report? Jim?
Treasurer's report, balance on hand as of April 30th, 2023 was $454.06. We took in May $158,252.64. Expenditures for May was $246,228.18. Money on hand as of May 31st, $510,478.52. Needed approval.
Thanks, Jim.
Approval of the treasurer's report, please.
Do we have a motion made to,
I motion.
I'll second that.
Dave makes the motion and Jerry seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carried. Jerry Parks, security.
Yes, hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out for food trucks, participating in it. Like I said, we all have been working on new events and new stuff this year. Hope you're enjoying it. Give us your input and your feedback. You know what, we can make a suggestion. Help us out for next time we try it. But one thing I do have to reach out is electric. Everybody leaving their patio lights on, their lights on for when you're not here is not good. We had a couple fires recently, last 2 weeks, and people take care of it themselves, but it could have been catastrophes. That's by leaving their lights on and overplugging stuff in an outlet. After time, they get hot and they start a fire. We've had numerous fires. Our park, especially as dry it is now, one trailer could wipe out this whole park in a matter of seconds. So please, if you're not here, shut your lights off. Be considerate of your neighbors too. If you're not here and you got a big blinding light shining somebody, they come from the city to get away from the lights. They don't want to see lights all week. We get so many complaints on that, you know. We know they're pretty and nice when you're here, that's great, but when you're not here, please just, you know, shut them off for us. And it makes it easier for us to check your trailers too, for security wise also. Speeding, you are speeding still, it's always an issue, but it's getting better, but it's mostly the guests. So please, mind your guests. Try walking to the park, walk to the pool, walk to our events. There's no even reason to even drive in this park. I know one lot here, one lot there on the other side of the park, but walk, meet your neighbors, check out the park, enjoy, you know, different sights and stuff. But we got our car show coming up pretty soon, so we're gonna be closing down the road. In the front, you'll be able to enter the park, but you won't be able to exit the park. You'll be diverted to the horse park gate, which will be marked out and posted for everybody to get out. If you have an old-fashioned car or a bike, come join us. You know, the bigger the better for the event. We have food up there for people. Come out, hang out, meet new people. And basically, that's all I got then. Thanks.
Thank you, Jerry. Carrie, for recreation?
How are you guys? We got our car show next Sunday. July 2nd. We're always looking for volunteers. If you want to volunteer for the car show, come on out. You could be a judge, pass out anything. You could sign the cars in. Basically, we got a job for anyone. If you want to donate an hour or the whole day to us, let us know. And it'd be a fun time. We're gonna be bringing back the haunted house this year in October. I'm not sure the date offhand, but we're looking for people to do rooms in the haunted house. If you want to do a room, approach me, Brian, or Donna, or anyone in the office. They'll leave us a note for you. And basically, if you don't see it out there and you want an activity done, just approach us too. Leave us a note, contact us, whatever you want to do, and we'll try our very best to get it up for you. I'm gonna do a couple movie nights this year. I just gotta pick a couple dates that work and with no conflicts with other events, so I'll try and get that out next couple weeks and smoke signals to let you guys know. And that's about it, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Carrie. Next one, I got special events, but I think I should say park ranger, park manager, Brian, candidate.
Good morning, everyone. Memorial Day was a success. We had the first Murph Wars up on the hill. I think we were there with your kids, your grandkids. I think everybody had an awesome time. We had over 50 kids participating. The end round was really unique. The older crowd decided to challenge the adults that had Nerf guns for a battle. It was really fun to watch. Seeing the dad and lots of kids playing kids. Kids can roll their Nerf guns 10 times faster than bigger one. We wanted to kind of test it out and see how it went. And I talked to the food trucks that were there, they all said they'd come back. And it was financially right for them too. It's always you never know if there's gonna be enough support for that. And you guys did a great job coming up to support that, so thank you. Car show, we definitely need judges, so if any of you can appreciate classic cars, like classic cars, have a classic car, understand what they are, we really need judges for that. That's definitely a spot where we're lacking. So you can email me for any of these if you want to volunteer at volunteerwsr@woodsmokebranch.com. I'm sorry, volunteerwsr@gmail.com. And that's where I kind of keep the thread going for all the volunteer stuff. So getting the maintenance real quick. We've been working on trimming back roadways. Our garden club has done an awesome job getting the front of the park to look nice. They're working on getting a lot of annual or perennials planted so that we don't have to spend so much money on the annuals every year. And just enhancing it, and they've done a great job, so I want to say thank you to them. We've washed, we already had a dance there, but we power washed all the public areas that are concrete throughout the whole park over the past few weeks. Something that hasn't been done in quite some years, and we didn't realize how dirty the floor was, so you did a section and look back and you can see it. So we're going to try to continue that. As you can see, pool 2, it's got its first coating of liquid rubber on it. We're doing the patching. We've got to do the floor work this week, and then we're going to put the final coat of liquid rubber on it. Get it going in there, and we're hopefully be over there in the next few weeks then. And I just want to say, our maintenance staff, we're very limited on the number of staff we have, and this is a huge part, and they do a great job, and I just want to say thank you to them. We're looking actually for somebody for part-time for maintenance, so if anybody's interested, come in the office, give them an application, drop it off. We're losing one of our part-time guys, and we need to replace him, so. Other thing I've got is West Fest is coming up July 15th. That's a new event. It's going to go from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. in Western Town. It's an all-day event. We've got all kinds of fun stuff going to be going on. Bands, events, fun stuff for kids, adults. So hopefully everybody comes out for that. And next weekend is our patriotic bike parade that we're going to do. It's going to start here at PA2. It's going to end at Western Town. It's open to kids and adults. There's going to be prizes for the kids for the most patriotic bike decorating. And the only other thing I want to mention is because it's been so dry, like Jared was talking about the fire going, also keep in mind with sprinkling. Try to limit your sprinkling. The grass is going to be okay. We need to watch around wells. Keep the flowers alive, but watch the extra sprinkling, please.
And your campfires.
And the campfires. Keep an eye on the campfires. Other than that, that's all I have. But again, I think this has been a fun year so far. Thank you, everybody. It takes everybody to make these events happen. So.
Brian, one question for you. Scooters are allowed in that bike parade, right? Like expensive scooters?
Absolutely.
All right, okay. Yes,
The bike parade. Decorate that thing.
Watch the potholes.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's open to all ages for bikes.
You're welcome.
No pressure, Bob.
You're asking Jared because you're going to get your three-wheeler out here?
All right, Brian. That's it?
I'm done, yeah.
All right. No, you're not done, but, thank you for your report. Any other old business? All right. No, you're not done. but,
Under new business.
Thank you for your report. Brian, I think we're going to talk about.
Any other old business?
All right. Love. No, you're not done. but,
Under new business.
Thank you for your report. Brian, I think we're going to talk about.
Any other old business?
All right. Love. No, you're not done. but,
Under new business.
Thank you for your report. Brian, I think we're going to talk about.
Any other old business?
All right. Love.
Handbook for all of our staff, all of our current staff, all of our incoming staff. That just covers all of the right policies to protect us as a park, as an association, to just get us caught on all the things that we've been lacking over the years. So we're going to create a handbook. It's $4,000. It's going to be working with us. There's going to be some of our existing policies that we have. They're going to update them. We're going to
Make a motion to approve the contract with the labor law to produce our book.
One second.
Motion made by Jim and seconded by Ray. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. The next thing will be the garbage contract. And that would be Dave Owens.
We've done, we are up for renewal of a garbage contract, so we're trying to keep the best interest and lower our rates. We've done a lot of research and took in a lot of bids and got it down to the best three that would suit our needs at the most cost-efficient rate. Presented the contract to our attorney, who went back and forth, and we settled on one to be the best, which happens to be Republic, who we have right now. They have new people handling the routes, so where we maybe were slow in getting an empty dumpster out before, that's been rectified, which is good. So that being said, we will end up, I believe, voting on that in a moment. I just want to make a mention on garbage in general, that you have to remember, we can't dispose of TVs any better than you can. Okay, so please don't put them by the dumpsters. Don't throw them in the dumpsters. We can't get rid of that. If you have a large appliance like a refrigerator or something, take the door off of it, put it at the end of your driveway, contact the office. We'll have our guys come get it. You know, we find those things by the dumpsters and it's like, goodness gracious. You know, and you sure don't want somebody getting locked in or something silly.
Make sure you take the doors off.
Yeah, I did say that. And, yes, and there's always throughout the course of the season, people putting grass clippings or branches in the dumpsters. We can't have that. Please lay them on the ground by the dumpster, okay? It ruins the loads and it gets very expensive for us. That being said, Republic, I would like to entertain a motion to accept the garbage contract.
First of all, I want to say thanks, Dave. He got us a 60% savings
Oh, I
on
forgot about
garbage.
that. Yeah, that was a good thing.
We're going
Little
down
over
60%.
less than we're paying, so that's.
So I want to say thank you for getting that taken care of for us. It's a lot of work, and it was a lot of research. And I'll make that motion to approve that contract.
I'll second that.
Made by Jim and seconded by Jared.
3 years.
It's vacant, give me 1 second, let's see.
Yeah. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We don't discuss
No, the one thing I was
until
gonna say,
after.
though, when you guys hear 60%, let's be clear, it's based off of the haul. So if we haul 300 dumpsters a year or we haul 600, it's a savings, it's not a 60% from last year.
Right.
You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
why it probably will be,
And the
but
contract is based off of how many times we have to have the dumpsters empty.
Are we
All right.
charged per unit or?
No.
is it
Per unit, yes.
So
Yeah.
what do we pay?
All right, we're not allowed to ask questions during this part of the movie, okay? There will be questions and answers afterwards, and we will answer the questions we can answer. All right, the anti-theft agreement with our attorney.
Oh, yeah, so, we're gonna adopt a policy, as a board here. Our attorney drafted it for us. It is the Woodsmoke Ranch Condominium Campground Association anti-theft policy. And we're looking to adopt this. And it's just our new way of doing the checks and balances from all cash, all money handling throughout the park. We've, obviously gone through some recent issues that we're still working on, but this is to ensure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen again. So we've worked with our accounting firm, we've worked with our attorney, and.
Insurance.
What's that?
And our insurance company.
And our insurance company. And, we put together this anti-theft policy, we just need to adopt it so we can get it over to our insurance company.
Make a motion to approve the anti-theft policy from our attorney and our accounting firm.
I would second that.
Motion made by Jim and seconded by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The other thing we have to do is, we have Progressive Business Solution is who we have buy our electricity for us. They've always negotiated prices for us to get us the best price on our electricity. They also are the ones that helped us with the solar field that's going in. At this time, our contract isn't up till the end of the year, but they're saying the rates are going up. So they found another company that we will be switching to, Dynasty Energy for our electric. They're more familiar with the solar fields and all. They're gonna get us more money back having our solar field and all too. So we want to go into a new contract with them now at the rate now. If it goes down later on this year, we can renegotiate it. If it goes up, we stay at that rate. So it's a win-win situation for us, but we have to vote on passing it. So I'll entertain a motion to sign a new contract with Progressive Business Solutions to use Dynasty Energy for our park.
Make that motion.
Jim makes the motion, seconded by Kerry. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Oh, well, we got the truck too.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a new park manager, and part of his contract is a vehicle. So we're going to have a motion to approve up to $50,000 for a new truck. All right. Sorry. Do I get a,
I second that.
who made the motion?
I make the motion
All right.
to purchase the truck.
All right. Motion made and seconded. All right. Yeah, well, in questions and answers, you people get a chance to talk, but we'd like your quietness during this so we can move on. All right? Motion made and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, Blacktop Roads.
We're gonna be, moving forward with some road repairs. We're working with, Boston, Brandon, around Morris, Illinois. We're looking to, move forward with $57,736 road repairs. We're gonna be scheduling this a few weeks, or I should say probably about a month or so out from now. And one of the things that I've talked to with the contractor that we had bid this project is, from what I've heard from people and seen on Facebook, it's really hard to get an asphalt contractor in here if you're looking to have your driveway done. So we're gonna give like a 2-week window, once we lock in an installation time for them to come do our roads, where they're gonna come out and they're gonna work with whoever contacts them for an estimate. And we're gonna send out notices, I'm gonna put something up on Facebook, and we'll email out notices with their contact information. And you guys, this way you guys can call them. We're paying for the mobilization of the equipment to come here. That's the big cost. When you just call for your driveway and they shoot you these astronomical prices, a big part of that is, they're coming out here with all of their equipment to do a 2-car driveway. So a big part of that cost is the mobilization of that equipment. We're paying for that already as the park. So while they're in doing our roads, as long as you've contacted them prior and they've given you an estimate, you agree, they're gonna be in here, their equipment's gonna stay in the park, and they're gonna do the road, or they're gonna do your driveways for you. So watch out on Facebook, watch your email, because that's coming up here in the next few weeks. And it'll be their contact information. It'll probably be Brett, who's the guy we're dealing with, that'll be coming out to do do the estimates for you. That's the time, if you guys are thinking about getting your driveway asphalted or redone, that's the time to do it. It's gonna be the best price. So, and then like I said, we're gonna be doing sections of road in the park as well.
Okay,
Brian, we're also, so everybody knows, the basketball courts are gonna be worked on at the same time, and,
Tennis court.
I mean, a tennis court.
They're not redoing them, but there's some large cracks and all that. He's going to take care of that for us. I brought that up to him after this. He's gonna take care of that for us at no charge. He's gonna go in and get that fixed. Once we get it fixed, then we're gonna try to get it, one court stripe for pickleball. There's a lot of requests for pickleball. We're gonna get a stripe for pickleball, and we're gonna kind of monitor the usage of it. And if we see that pickleball is a big thing and it's, justifiable, then we'll start to move forward next year with maybe getting pickleball courts put in. But, you know, it's like saying we all want a dog park, and then there's just the same 5 people that do the dog park. We want to make sure we have a great opportunity to kind of test the grounds for that. But first, I want to get that safe, so people want to go and angle it, or there's no grass, or small tile. We want to get that taken care of.
Brian, the name and the amount that we're,
And Ralston, right, out of Morris, 57,736.
make a motion to approve that contract.
I'll
and get it moving.
second that.
If you didn't catch it, it's 57,000 and some odd, 36, yes. That is in the budget.
It is.
So, all right, motion made by Jim
and Jerry.
and seconded by Jerry. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Got all of them?
Yeah, that's everything.
Okay, with all the business being handled, I know you've got some questions. Let me just start out by saying, we don't discuss salaries of employees in the park. That's, we never have and we never will. That's, you trust us to make the right decisions. And I know, but realize that our new park manager who manages the business end of everything and the office end of everything. He's got an assistant on the office end. But this truck payment is over 3 years. It's not over 1 year. And that put into his salary isn't as much as we were paying his previous predecessor. So we're not spending more money, we're spending less money. And that's still being put into it. You draw it out over 3 years, that's the way it is done. So I want to make that clear to everybody. We're not spending more of your money, we're actually saving some of your money.
And the truck is not his, it's the park's.
No, the trust is the
stays
park.
The park's.
Yeah, it's in the park's name, the park pays the insurance. It's the park's. All right? That being said, if there's any questions, please stand, give your name and your lot number, and we'll answer your questions one at a time.
The best we can.
Hello,
Hi,
how are you?
good.
Mary, and my lot's 880. Just to let you know, this is my first summer here. Love it.
Welcome.
Every time of my life here, I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad you brought up the basketball courts, because I'm beyond, and if I hear pancakes for playgrounds, I'm gonna puke, because playgrounds are beautiful. They're wonderful, they're great condition. I love to see the kids play. I have a 22-year-old who can't play basketball, so he won't bring his friends up, because they're, not gonna go play on the playground. But I hear you're gonna fix it. But by fixing it, his concern that you're gonna pull up the nets and you're gonna fix that where the seat, and he can't even do a layup or break an ankle.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm wondering, when you say you're gonna repave when you have the equipment out here, if you're actually.
We're not repaving that. There's cracks in the existing surface that are gonna get fixed.
But are you gonna fix the net?
We are gonna-
Coming up from the ground.
We are gonna put the nets at the right height.
I'm
If
not
that's
worried
what,
about the height, I'm worried about the cement.
You pull
around the
everything.
net that is coming up.
well, in order to put it at the right height, you gotta break all that cement
So that
away.
is gonna be done.
Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
That's all right, yeah.
And the tennis court, whatever, it's like, so you're fixing that. My other concern is, and this would not cost a lot of money, is the sand volleyball. Now, that's another thing. There's a lot of things for children to do, which is great. But for people who are new, who want their kids to love it here and bring their kids when they get older, there's not a whole lot. And the volleyball court, can we clean it up around there and fix the net and make it, that net shouldn't look like that? I don't know if you don't play volleyball, but it shouldn't look like that. I'm just saying little things like that, that wouldn't cost a lot, but it would give kids.
Well, when we put the net up, it starts out straight. And then as
Yeah, but
kids
if you
hang
look-
on
if
it
you
and
look around-
everything.
And I'm not trying to pick, but if
We
you look
put
around-
new sand in both volleyball courts 2 years ago.
But you gotta cut around it, you gotta cut the court.
What I will say is, that's time, and then labor.
Okay.
And right now, our efforts are focused.
Oh, no, and I totally get that, I totally get that.
And believe me, I have a laundry list of things that I want to address, but it's.
Yeah. No, and I totally get that. When we came here, we had them then. Yeah.
You know, staffing
And I
It
know the
is,
schools
but
were concerned.
it is it's on our to-do list. We do have it on our list.
Good,
And then
good
the last thing-
observations, it's great. And welcome to Woodsmoke, by the way.
We're loving it. And then the last thing, Brian, I know you deal with this, I don't deal with it, my husband's a computer geek, but we did the monkey survey months and months and months ago. And I'd asked you, you said August, September, and my husband's like, it's a monkey survey, you should have the results immediately. Why haven't we heard anything about that?
we have the results.
Why haven't we heard about it?
We haven't had, with everything else going on,
Oh.
we have not discussed it. But yes, it's there. And that's, when you look at the, I was actually shocked, because one thing, I don't remember the exact percentages, but the percentage of children is way less than I ever thought of.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, you
And
want
not
to
just
hear
talking
it.
about
And I
teenagers,
know.
yeah, I'm
But,
about 18 and under, the percentage was a lot less than I thought.
and also to throw it out there, I am a big dog park, proponent, very big. I will volunteer to do, my husband and I have researched, you know, the costs, what we can do to not make an assessment for everybody who doesn't have a dog. So we're willing to help because we think that's what we're missing here, because there are a lot of dogs here. And to keep them in your, you know, they like to enjoy themselves too.
Sure.
So anything we can do to help, 880, we're willing to help.
I'll get those results set up, but
Great.
the dog park was much, right at the bottom of the list of what people wanted.
But is there a way that we can do it where, say there's 150 families who
Sure.
want to do it, and then all we would have to do is pay for fencing and things like that?
Something that you could probably put together and bring to the board.
Okay,
Yes, absolutely.
thank you.
All right. Yes?
Wait, I didn't hear.
Okay, hold on.
So,
Lot number, please.
It's not power outages, it doesn't happen like it did years ago, I know there was upgrades done, but there's tons of times where I got 101 volts, and I got nothing on. I turned my air, yesterday I turned my air on till 9:30, same with my 83-year-old neighbor, that barely breathes. Melted the power cord on, she burnt the fridge out last year. That really needs to be addressed, you can't run anything safely on 90 volts. And that's the thing, I can see on a holiday weekend, that's not a problem. But there's nobody around, the whole cul-de-sac here, and that whole, it's empty. There's nobody up around past the road, two people. And I'm at 101 volts, I can't turn it on.
I need this.
We got a lot of elderly senior citizen people that
Can you restate your name? Excuse me,
the
can you
lot,
restate?
please.
flow over it.
Fires can start like this, a lot of you people probably don't have a home, you have yours. Yeah.
Breathes out the lock.
And if you don't have a home, you're taking a chance.
I burned up two air conditioners.
Okay.
See, that's what makes it bad, it's the cost and stuff that works.
What's that?
Is that Conrad Power Company?
Yeah. That's what it is. It's,
Well,
It's distribution, not Conrad.
so we're on a two-phase, okay, so we're on a two-phase system right now, okay? And we share this with,
All right, one person at a time.
we share this with downtown Seneca. It has to come, we're at the end of this two-phase system. Starting, hopefully, if ComEd, and you know how ComEd is, supposedly they're starting in July?
They're supposed to have the three-phase brought here by July. in
So
July.
we're working with ComEd, we're constantly on the phone with them, and your concerns are heavy to us and to them too, because that's where you get your brownouts and stuff. So we're gonna get a three-phase system coming in. We're still in old infrastructure underneath the ground, so we're hoping that this three-phase, I talked to the gentleman that's selling us, he says that should help us a little bit. But
Some people that, they don't realize that that's happening.
I understand, yeah.
We do, we understand, my husband works with electricity.
We've been there 30 years, so
Yeah.
a lot of everybody had was on 30 amp service. Now, the park is big, everybody's on 50 amp.
And honestly, there are people that are
And that's-
running stuff they shouldn't be running.
Right, and that's where we come in where I drive this park at 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody's asleep, because I don't sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm up. And I'm driving this park, and there's electricity on some of these places that are brighter than Las Vegas. Shut your electric off, you're going to sleep, you don't need your electric outside on.
There are people in screen houses running college air conditioners.
10, 12 crock pots.
They got that new shutter blinds, I guess they're allowed. But a lot of them people got storm windows in, and I know a couple, I can name them.
The
They
drop,
got storm windows in, and then they got door room air conditioning, and then they got a full-size fridge in their shed. That's not helping either. Some of that needs to be looked at.
well, they're still on 50 amp service, okay? But if you see something like that, you drop that complaint into the mailbox in the office, and Brian will work on that, okay? Please, we don't need your name, we don't need your, we all live here.
Especially my neighbor. She's 83, she was at this age, I had to go stand on the top. And she shouldn't have.
You're right.
She's elderly, I mean, me and him, we had our time yesterday. He sat outside and looked this morning over, because he couldn't go into Seattle, so he couldn't go. So, don't work smart, but, that's it. Yeah, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
So
Chris? Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
not there.
Well, that was one of my subjects also, because I've got meters and been watching.
Lot number, sir,
Oh,
please, and
sorry.
name.
Chris Fresh, lot 13, 97, 98, and 99. We have meters in both the Park Mile and the Fifth Wheel. Fifth Wheel hasn't been really run much this year because my son hasn't been out. But I watched my power go from 120 down to 106, 107. I'll turn off my central air also, because that's the worst thing for low voltage issues. I spoke to numerous electricians, and actually you've got one in the park. He's a lot owner here. I haven't spoke to him, but he does commercial electric. And everybody has said is because of the way the park has been set up, there's 4 trailers on a 100 amp main. The wires are undersized, and you're just drawing too much. And for 2, we're at the end of life for the underground wires. So I know there's no way this park can afford to do an upgrade for all these trailers all at one time. But I think a long-term infrastructure rebuild should be put in place where they can start slowly bringing us into the current power requirements. And that's what I don't expect an answer right now. I just think this is something the board, I've mentioned it many times to the board, something that needs to be put in the long-term infrastructure improvements. We've got, we put money away every year for something like that. And it would be great to say, tell the board, hey, we looked into it. At current dollars, it's gonna cost $2 million, $3 million to do the whole park, but we're gonna do 50, one section each year for over the next 5 years, or 6 years. So it won't be a killer on the pocketbook, but sooner or later, the whole park will get done. Okay? I have many more things on the list. I'll do one at a time. The smoke signals, I like that somebody put the link out there for it, so now we can do it, we'll help save on the printing. But if you go to the smoke signals link on the webpage, it's still showing the smoke signals for May 26th. It's not showing the new smoke signals. Okay? At least it does it on mine.
Are you going on your mobile phone?
No, I do it on a laptop. Right on the side where it says smoke signals, it gives that one, and it doesn't give the list of all the smoke signals. I understand that the newest one should be at the top, and if you wanted the older one's fine. It's not just replace the old one with the new link. That would be perfect. Save us a lot of money on print. Because I didn't got a book this week. I wasn't going to start a fire with it. It's been too it was too dry anyway. But besides the point, I was still able to see what was going on. An old business, what is the status on the Woodsmoke owned lots? I know the Woodsmoke owns many lots in the park, okay? I've checked, and they're still owned by Woodsmoke according to, the county.
Right.
Is there any plan to put them out there with the real estate?
Yes.
Just to get rid of them?
Yeah, well, but there's things that have to happen first. We can't sell the trailers on them, we gotta remove the trailers off of them before we can sell the lot, because we have no deed for the trailer. And we cannot sell that way, so
I understand.
we are
There is a
working
plan.
on that
There's a
now.
plan going.
Yes, and
That's
we're
all.
getting more lots too, through the tax dollars,
People are
so,
walking away.
yeah.
Yeah, I understand, this is old business, and I wanted to
Yeah.
know what was going on, what the status was. And the next thing, when you guys, I don't remember if it was last meeting or the meeting before that, you mentioned that you guys were filing the new covenants and restrictions and bylaws with the county. Has that been done yet? So where it's, it's been filed with the county?
No, our,
You said it was gonna cost
Michael.
$27,000
I
to
think he
file
needs
with
it
the county.
to 27.
cost what?
27, something like that, thousand.
Oh, yeah, that was
Check,
filed
check,
immediately,
yeah.
yes,
That
yes.
was handled.
Okay, so now those are new covenants and restrictions, not the old ones that everybody's got the book on. Is there any plans on putting that as a PDF file on the webpage? So then anybody who wants to view and look at the new ones can do it, and that'll save on printing costs instead of you guys technically have to give us, because new covenant and restrictions, every lot owner is supposed to get a copy of it. So if they can go just click on the webpage, that's gonna save $2 a trailer on printing. So I just wanted to put that out there, so I'm a big person on rules, if anybody ever seen me.
We're still going through rules and
No, I
regulations.
understand it, but what has been filed with the county already is set in stone. You can turn around and put a PDF on the webpage, now we can click, we know all the latest updates, because everything was from the 80s, I get it. But instead of you guys putting it out to a printer, and even with, like, every new trailer that's sold or a bid on, they put a offer on it. They're required by law to get a copy of the new covenants and restrictions. Okay, that's their attorney review period, document review period, so they can look at our rules and say, okay, we agree with this, we know what's going on. There's a lot of people out there say, oh, we didn't know we had 6 categories. It's in the covenants and
They
restrictions.
tell you when you buy it, you can.
Yeah, but you can't give out the old ones anymore, because those technically aren't our covenants.
And we can get it up on the website.
Yeah.
The portal is obviously, everything's, that's.
No, but we're still down the road on the portal, I understand it. But it would just save us from getting reprinted and distributed to all the lot of them. It's just gonna save, because otherwise you're gonna, hey, someone's gonna go in the office, can I get a copy of the new book? Can I get a copy of the new book? If it's on the web, we don't have to ask for it. Okay? And that's all I have. Basically easy stuff.
Are you sure?
Easy stuff this time.
Christian is never all you got.
Well, let's see what else comes up. You're right.
All right, yes.
Hi, Jeannie Knesky, 1148-1440. First off, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate, this is like my first meeting, but I've watched you online and I love it. And I'm thankful that we have a volunteer board. And I really do think, some people forget that it is a volunteer position, and you guys work hard to try to get us what we want, okay? So that was the first thing I want to say. Second thing, the pools, and maybe I missed it. Is there an explanation of what has happened with the pools? I know, and the delay, I know we had a contractor, and now I'm hearing that the rest of the work is being done in-house. I don't understand. If it's been said already, then ignore me.
Well, again,
I'll just tell you individually.
again, we have to be very careful of what we say because of litigation. So we cannot say things against somebody that was doing work here and is no longer doing work here because we open up lawsuits going the other way.
Are we in litigation?
So, yes,
Okay, so that was my question, I didn't know what had happened,
Yeah.
because there was rumors,
yeah.
and I didn't know, okay, we had a contractor, did they back out? Are they not fulfilling their contract?
It was breach
And now
of
we're
contract.
doing it?
Yeah, it's a breach of contract, but that's pretty much as far as we can go.
Thank you, and so now we're taking care of it all, in-house?
Yes.
Yeah,
Trying to find a pool contractor in the spring. for the
much less a summer.
is impossible.
Yeah.
Will it cost us less because right now? Will the cost go down because we're doing it?
We have.
Well,
we-
you-
we
One
have-
person
we
at a
have the
time.
material, we still have everything we have to buy, we have all of our labor costs, so we're trying to keep it within budget. Doing everything we can to keep it within budget.
Okay, awesome, thank you. My next question then is for the lifeguard company that we hired. Because the pools have not opened on time and the budget was at about 74,000, did that decrease what their contract is set amount for 2023?
Good.
We're lessening now.
It's right here.
I'll be willing to answer it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Eve.
I'm the owner of the company that is doing the garden. And they are not being charged for any labor hours we did not use. So answer to that is yes, it will not cost them or cost all of us that same cost because there was, what? I don't know. I apologize, I don't know offhand how many days we were not in the pool. They're only gonna be charged for the labor hours we're using. Does that make sense? Yeah, awesome, thank you. Thank you, that's all I have.
And another thing I just want to say is, even I have spoken, and because of the delay of opening and everything else, if the weather's conducive, and she can maintain the staff, which we don't think is gonna be a problem, we're gonna try to keep the pool open past Labor Day this year, so that we can still have the same, not necessarily the same amount for this pool, but something extra, because a lot of times the weather's still really nice after Labor Day, so as long as the weather's cooperative, we're gonna try to keep at least one of the pools open for extended swimming season.
Yeah, it will be a little bit, I mean, of course, we all know our guards are still all in school. Still, we're back for weekends, even if we can't do weekdays, we've got weekends still. So, not all of them are going away to college, so we should be able to, keeping my fingers crossed, and we know that the summers have been extending, they're starting later and extending longer. So if we keep moving, then yes, if it's cost efficient with heating and so forth, yes. Thank you, thank you. Okay, and my next question is, and maybe it's been addressed, I don't know, I apologize. But I've heard through the grapevine that there is now a park ranger that resides in the guest camping. And to my knowledge, I don't know anything about this, who this person is, what this entails. Can you describe that a little bit? What is this person? Is there a person? Is this just rumors? What is
There's a park ranger that we all, as a board, decided that she's an employee of the park. This is really almost no cost for the park when I say it, because what she's here for is, she's down there, I guess, camping during the week. So when all of us aren't here in the evenings, there's an ambulance or, something, sheriff's department, something that needs to be brought in, that's her job. She brings them to their, she fills, she leads incident accident reports, kind of the after hours things, to make sure that we're documenting something that, at no fault of anybody, but we're doing, every time we respond to something now, we're completing an incident and accident report, it's going over to our insurance company. They decide, or they hold that until if we want to file a claim on the file. So she's handling all of that. She is not going to get out and break out fights or anything like that. But it's her job to determine who we can call the sheriff. It's another. A lot of people wanted more security, more. We need to. Jerry's security. He's
not a paid position then?
No,
As a park range? No. No.
Is there a number to call?
no.
You call the front gate.
That's the other thing too, guys, real quick. If you stop in the office and you update your email, your contact info on, we have magnets now, little fridge magnets that have our phone number, it has all the press one for this, two for that. And then it's the reminder, and we can't stress this enough. You dial 911 first, then call the guardhouse to let them know. There's nothing worse than when we get a call that says, hey, there's an ambulance that just came through the gate. We don't know where it's going or why it's here.
We can't help them get there.
We can't help them, we can't help the sheriff, we don't know, and then sometimes the sheriff will be like, well, we'll try to find it, and they start to follow the lots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No, 9, yeah,
You
right.
know how that works.
And they gotta go this way. So, dial 911, and then remember to call the 357-6420, and you press 2 for security, that rings the guardhouse, they know, they can get a hold of everybody here on the radio. And after hours, especially after hours during the week, that's where the park ranger, that's her, she's called up.
She assists me a lot. Yeah, she assists.
So it's just part of the regular staff.
It's part of her, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what everybody else asking.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
No,
She was already an employee.
She was already an employee, and she was, this is something she was willing to take on for us, and, you know.
That's awesome.
For that, that makes it great. My first couple of years here, even now, I still get lost with the number.
Absolutely, she knows the park very well, so it's just,
Yeah.
Speaking of that.
This is something the park used to have many years ago. They
Long
used
time
to
ago.
have it. And Brian can remember that. And that's what helped feed the idea of maybe we can get this going again.
Oh, that's
So-
great, that's great.
Speaking of that, your lot numbers and pitching posts does help out. That 1 second to 2 minutes, us trying to find your lot. Like he says, there's a lot here, and there's 10 lots without numbers, you could be anywhere. And if you notify us and stuff, try to have somebody in front of your lot to wave us down, point us in, help us get to that person. You know, 2 seconds could save somebody's life.
as simple as running out to your car, hitting your hazards, going back and dealing with the issue with the trailer. It's a visual. It's gonna grab, if the cop, if you forgot to call the gate, you know, and the cop is looking, he's gonna see, it sounds, but it's a.
It helps.
Anything you are, that's great. I mean, you know?
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. So that brings me to my last question, I believe. Thankful that you're working on the portal, and hopefully that's gonna be up soon. But things like this, that we have questions about, or things that have been adopted, and we don't know anything about it, and then it goes on Facebook, and there's all these rumors, and all these, oh my gosh, comments that are just whatever. Is there a way for us to put it on our Woodsmoke page, our web page, like a thing that says new news? And
There is.
maybe updates, so that like something like this happens, oh, we now have a park ranger, this is what it entails, blah, blah, blah. So people aren't out there like, oh, is this a new hired position, and we didn't know, and do you see what I'm saying?
There is something out
Can we
in
do
there,
that?
it's, I forget what it's titled, newsletter, news updates.
I think it is
It's
newsletter.
not towards the bottom, the problem is, I believe it's it kind of like fronts the first two, and then it bumps. Like, so if we post something else, it bumps, you only
Old
see like
stuff.
the
It always
two most recent, unless you kind of click through. And the website needs some work, I mean, we're not gonna lie to you, but it's, our main goal is this informational portal is gonna be so, once it's done, it's gonna be all the information, is sort of transparency that we want to get out there is out there, we don't, the stuff doesn't belong in public information, what belongs in public, the owners of Woodsmoke, Woodsmoke. So that's
The other thing about the park ranger was, it wasn't we were keeping it a secret. We were feeling through to see how this was going to work, how it was the arrangement, how it was gonna work with her and everything, before we announced it to everybody. Somebody went down there and saw it and put it on Facebook. We weren't ready for it to go on Facebook yet.
Maybe we should have
But-
put a sign up that said.
You want to sign up? Put a sign up, they're gonna talk about it.
But that's the thing, we were trying to hide this, the small line wasn't, we were trying to hide it, we were, oh, it's just something we're running against.
And park ranger is in the covenants. It is part of the covenants. There is a park ranger in the covenants.
Yes, you can.
It's a different kind of position. It's not.
She's working.
Years ago, if everybody remembers the Western Town where that giant chair is on that deck, that used to be the park manager, and that was his residence. He lived there year round. That was yes, that was part of his package. He lived up there. What's that? So, there's positions that can be here year round. This park ranger position is the position, because she works in our office, so it only makes sense, like, it just worked out. You know, the odds of finding another person like this, is probably unlikely.
Yeah, no, I'm just,
You know what I mean? But
I didn't know that. I thought our
we were blessed
bylaws.
to find somebody like
But
this.
owners can't live here.
Oh, is that, right. Okay.
Key word.
So, as far as the portal, do we know, like, a guesstimate? Will that be by the end of this, next year?
My goal is this year. My goal is this year.
Okay, thank you.
It's,
All right, the lady back there, she's had her hand up forever.
Hi, my name is Sue from 776.
Stand, please.
She may not be able to.
Oh, okay, sorry.
A statement and a question. Clearly, there's an issue between transparency and communication between the one.
I can't hear what she's saying if everybody's clapping.
And do you post what you're going to be talking about? I can find it out.
Agenda, I didn't see it this week.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Well, an agenda is not a legal document for our board meetings. I'm sorry.
I think it's required.
It's a legal document.
It's
No,
required that you do it 48 hours before a meeting, so owners have the right to attend.
According to our attorney, it is not a legal document that's made, as long as the board members have it. So,
It specifically states in the Illinois Condominium Act that you must post an agenda. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to follow that agenda. Okay, that will be where your legal document comes in. But you must post the agenda in a conspicuous location, such as our webpage or something like that.
so announcing the meeting itself is an agenda.
What's the meeting gonna cover? That's the agenda.
All right.
Just like you're saying, you're
I'm not gonna argue with people. I'll get the official ruling from her. Take it from there. Yeah,
How meetings, how
actually, we haven't. Well, no, you know how often we're here doing all kinds of meetings and everything?
You
And
won't have this if the communication and the transparency was beyond the other issues.
all right, the answer to your question is no, we haven't. All right, will we? Yes, we'll take a look at it, all right?
I got
Did you?
Oh, Cindy Ruffin from Lot 27. I had a question regarding the park ranger. I have a question regarding the park ranger. Can you hear me? Okay. The question is, I understand you call security number first, okay? But what are the limitations to after hours that you have to call her on? Because people will start calling for stupid things. And that's a
Nobody can
waste.
call her.
Well, how are you gonna get to the park ranger? They'll get a hold?
You call
Security guys,
security.
yes.
So we call security with whatever.
front
and they'll
gate.
get a hold of her.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's
I
fine.
live right down the block,
Okay,
so
that's
yeah.
fine.
I'm
Okay,
as
that's-
close as anybody
All
can
right, I
be.
just misunderstood
Yeah.
that.
when we say call security, you're calling the guardian.
Okay.
There's somebody there 24/7.
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
that's
And
good.
then they'll get a hold of that
Yeah,
person.
Yes.
grab
That's
the radio.
correct.
Okay.
That's good to clarify,
That's fine.
thank you.
All right, the other question was, what do you call those? Pitching posts.
Yes.
That was mandatory for people to have. What's the status of that? Because I made sure, I still have my own, which thank God it still stands, and I've made sure I had a number made bright enough and it was always there, but it was the original old wooden one.
Right,
And I even painted it orange, but I made a metal one, so fire department and went, but I still see a lot of lots without the pitching
We
posts.
haven't
mandatory
had
to
a
have it.
chance to do anything with them, with maintenance being so busy doing other things in the park this year.
Okay.
The ground is so hard right now, I doubt if we could get any of them dug in.
Okay.
right now, but maintenance has been
So
extremely
it's
busy.
still on the list, it hasn't dropped,
Oh,
because a
no,
lot of lot
no.
owners purchase new
Yep,
ones that I
yep.
know of, and you still see a lot that don't have them.
Yes,
It's supposed to be.
yes.
So is the interest on 392 and 386? Two questions. One, can we post something in the Woodsmoke signals about campground etiquette? We got people cutting through our lot all the time because they don't want to walk around. I mean, I want to put a fence up and say, don't cross, this is not your property. Now, granted, our neighbor across, they're his friends, it's like, look, this is not your land, that's your land. Is there anything that we could put in the Woodsmoke signals? We are campground owners to say, don't let your car, your guys cross through other people's lots. It's just campground 101. That's one.
We can put something out, but I'll tell you,
Respect your
we've done it
neighbor.
before, and the people that need to see it, don't see it.
Well, is there anything that is not on, do I have to stand there with like a water gun and say,
As long as it's a water gun and no other kind of guns, okay?
Take a picture of them and say, we're turning this into the office, because you're not supposed to be cutting through our lots.
two, this is just out of curiosity, is there a reason why houses are only for 150?
By what?
Yeah, but who's? Why are they only 150? A little bit longer, I don't know if there's any reason behind it.
Who knows? We weren't here 40 years ago. We don't know the reasoning why they divided it all up.
Or do I need to get 100 signatures?
Yes. You're gonna need to get 20% of the lot owners, and then they can put it out for a vote. But then the county's gonna charge you with.
Be careful what you wish for.
Careful. Be careful.
So here's the technicality on that, okay? We are undeveloped land. That's how you are taxed.
Property, right?
If you develop this land, you will be paying LaSalle County taxes, okay? So be careful what you wish for.
But is it just gonna be my lot that's being
No, it changes everybody's.
Everyone.
Down the road here,
It'll change from a campground to a trailer park.
down the road here, that dump that's down on the other end over by Marseilles, they are paying higher taxes because they put in larger and permanent structures there. They are paying a lot larger taxes there now because of what they did. So it's easier to put a rule into it than chase a rule, okay? Yes,
Me? Okay.
yes.
Cindy Ruffner again, lot 27. A lot of the dumpsters are filled with lots of wood, the gates, the decks, whatever. Can the wood be put somewhere like in the area where you burn stuff?
It's treated.
Okay, then maybe there's people that recycle some of the wood. Some people need, you can't go to the store and buy the boards that you had on there because now they're too thick or too high or too small. Sometimes people can recycle some of this wood, and some of the wood that I see in there is pretty decent. Some of it's rotted, but I'm just wondering,
We don't have the manpower to recycle wood.
No.
well, I'm not asking you guys to recycle, but to put the wood in a certain area so people like, say I need a piece of wood, can go to that area and burn it after a while.
You know, the biggest
or
problem-
get rid of it.
One of the, go ahead, Jim.
The biggest problem with that, we can't even get people to put the garbage in the garbage cans.
Well, that's true.
So you leave that piece of wood there and that has a nail or a screw in it, and one of our kids go there and they step on it, then we're gonna have problems. We could put all the rules we want into that. You have lazy people that will not take that nail or screw out of here because it's easier just to throw it there and leave it there, and then we open up a can of
And
worms.
that brings up another question. Right by our dumpster, the first one over there, there was glass all over there. Somebody broke something. Can they, I know this is a stupid question, but maybe an old push broom, so if I see that, I pick up nails and screws.
The push broom wouldn't stay there.
No,
Just
somebody-
report it to the
Hold on a
office.
second, but I understand your
Something,
point.
but there's a lot of glass.
Report it
and
to the
screws
office
nails.
and they'll come out and sweep it
Maintenance
up.
will come
The
out.
maintenance will come
All
out
right,
and take
that's
care of
fine.
it.
I'll
Yeah.
call the office.
Thank you.
One of the
Yes.
other issues on the dumpsters, forgive me, is some people are bringing in stuff from their house by the
Yes,
pickup truck
I've seen
load
that,
and dumping it in our dumpsters. That stops.
Mainly
We're on it,
contractors.
that stops.
There was a
I'm just
refrigerator.
putting that out there
boards and
because the
everything.
people who are doing it know who's doing it.
I'm glad you brought up the refrigerator, because mine went out a couple years ago. ago, and I
Yeah.
was told to put it in the front of my lot, and they picked it up, and that was
Yep.
fine. And, but remove the door, there was one last week over there by the dumpster, was, the door is still there.
Yeah,
That's,
it's
that's not our,
ridiculous.
that is, so taking the refrigerator doors off is not our rule.
Right.
That's a state of Illinois law.
Right, correct.
So if you see somebody doing that, report that to the office right away and we can get on
I
it.
didn't see him, it was already there when I went to.
I thank
I
you.
get it.
Good, this gentleman wants.
Ken John, lot 199. I've been here since '82. Seen the park grow. Happy for that. I've always had problems with power, meaning the 100 amp situation. This new power company, how are they going to improve that? Can you elaborate? on
I
that?
can, sure. What's going to happen right now, we're at the end of a 440 line. We do not have three-phase power anywhere around this park. We make three-phase power in our transformers, but that's not a true three-phase power. But we need it for our pool pumps and our sanitation pumps and everything. So Edison is bringing three-phase power to the end of the line where our lines come in.
Okay.
That is because solar will only return on a three-phase line. So the solar company's paying $887,000 to have that three-phase brought here. So now we will have true three-phase power, where we were at the end of two-phase, and they consider that pretty much the dirtiest power there is. We now will have three-phase, which is clean, all right? So now, when our solar fields start transmitting that power back to Edison, it's going up that three-phase line. And where's it gonna go? It goes to the closest places calling for it. Edison can't send it somewhere else. It has to go. So it's gonna come right back into the park. So we're going to have more power. We shouldn't
Stable
get
power.
the low voltage because of that, because we're gonna have more power coming in to keep it up. So this is what we've been told, and we'll see what happens, but this is what we're going by. The three-phase is going to really help our power system.
Just wanted to make a comment. 41 years ago, this was just a campground.
Yep.
Gotta remember, we're just a campground.
Agreed.
Yes?
You might not want to hear from me.
Stand, please.
Name line.
Ellen Krebs, lot 1130. I called you in December because of the raising dues.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a very nice conversation on the phone.
Yes.
And after I thought about it for a while, I fired off an email sometime in January, I don't know, down here. Questions that were never answered. So I fired off the email again, and they were never answered. Mr. Kennedy and I spoke because he reached out to me on some of the concerns that I had. And by the way, I had asked you to scan the minutes to my email, and you promised me you would. You didn't. So I paid $1.50 a copy, $22.50 to the office to get minutes, but if that helps the deficit in Woodsmoke, that's fine. My question is, in going through the minutes, and Mr. Kennedy and I spoke about this, and I agree with her, there is no transparency here whatsoever in what you do. I know that you have a hard job, and I wouldn't want it for the world, because I've worked with boards for 25 years. But when you pass something, there's no discussion about it. Nobody knows anything about it. In going through the minutes, I asked for all of the minutes. You passed minutes from March 6th and June 26th of 2022. They're not in there. So nobody knows what went on at that meeting if you didn't attend. Also, on October 2nd, you
out to pool 2 and you were still working on pool 1. Then on November 6th, all of a sudden, there's a discussion for a contract for pool repairs for $300,000. Nobody knew anything about that contract, and that contract should be accessible to everybody in this room, because under condo rules, we have a right to examine, make copies of every piece of paper that you have.
Correct.
And this, I don't know how your attorney didn't know you were under condo rule. This, Mr. Bassetti, Mr. Bassetti signed this, and Vidal. This is Woodsmoke Ranch Declaration of Condominium Covenants. It's right here. And if your attorney didn't know this, then he should be fired. Also, at that November 6th meeting, you instructed someone to remove $100,000 from the capital reserve to start repairs on the pool. And then you're going to take out a loan for the $300,000 and put the $100,000 back in the reserve. As far as the budget, and I'm not really smart with budgets, but the budget in 2023 or 2022, which is when this was, only got $25,000 in it.
Only had 25,000 in where?
In the capital reserves. In your minutes, you instruct someone to remove $100,000 from the capital reserve. There's only 25,000 in it.
Well, there's 2 CDs too for 65,000 each.
This is what I'm saying. You'll have to excuse me, but this is what I'm saying about transparency. Everything that you guys said at the beginning of this meeting was all in the Woodsmoke book. There was no business that I really could pick up except getting a car for this candidate and a couple of other insignificant things that weren't even discussed. Everybody in this room has a right to know how our money is being spent. And with a budget of over $2 million, and you told me you couldn't make, when I got the conversation with you on the phone, you told me you couldn't make the budget. And you said, well, all the employees had to get a raise. Well, nobody does good business. I understand people need raises, but if there's no money for the raise, how do they get raises? You can't make the budget. But yet, the budget was approved on November 6th. It just doesn't make sense. Things have to be done differently here because people are going to have questions. Everyone in this room has a right in writing to give you a piece of paper and say, I want to see every document, every paid receipt, everything that you have on everything in this park. We all have a right to do that. And these rules and regulations that you're talking about, everybody in here has a right to have an input to those. It says so right in the Declaration of Covenants. So we all should partake in it. It should be discussed. There should be a workshop or a forum on what people want to see changed in the covenants. That's my expertise. I work in covenant enforcement, and I have for 25 years. So some of these things it's hard to enforce them, and I understand. And I also said in my email to you that you should think about hiring a management company. A management company would better spend money, show you how to disperse money, because none of us know what's going on. The last thing I have to say, and I'm sorry for holding up everybody, on December 4th in the minutes, Ryan Kennedy talked about a plan for more information in what lot owners want. And he needs a $700 commitment. Can you explain to me what that is?
$700 commitment was to get the annual contract with the survey company, which was when the survey went out.
I'm sorry. To me, that is just a waste of money. Anyway, I had my say so. I would appreciate it if this board, before you pass and make motions on things, would discuss it to an open forum, because all of the lot owners here have a right to know where their money is going. And that raising a
Okay. Bob?
Bob Reinhardt, 1431. I think some of this could be answered if we could get a harder date on the portal being up. I think a lot of this is for owners only, and our website is not private. It's open up to the public. Unless we can come up with a way to secure a tab where you have to log in, and then they can put that information up there. Correct me if I'm wrong, it is private owners
Yes.
only.
You're right.
That's the problem we're having. Communication comes and goes. But once it's up, that's what I'm saying, is we need a harder date. Everybody wants communication. We have to go one way or the other. Either we create a security tab on the website for owners only. Right. But then that's, the owners want a date then. They don't want, we hope it's gonna be ready. Give us a date, or tell somebody, because we hired a contractor, we're paying a contractor. They're getting money, but we're not getting the information. That's what the owners are upset.
We have to give a lot of information to the company that's doing the project for us, and have the time. I'm one person.
No, I understand.
I'm out here doing the polls, I'm out here doing, I have to have the time to find our office lady, and also our finance software. Somebody else, that's it, right?
I totally
It's a lot of work, and we have to go, we have to change, I mean, they have to talk, and they have to.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. But the owners don't understand it, and they want results. Hold on. Just like the hitching post. This project's been going on for 4 years. Hitching posts, 4 years. 3 years ago, you said you're notifying everybody. If they didn't have one, the park will start installing them at their cost. Saying that the ground is hard is unacceptable, in my eyes. It is. You have an auger, you drill a hole, you put a post in. This project should be done. A lot of the projects carry over from year to year to year. And I know it's a manpower issue. But, right. That doesn't seem like it should be done in off-season. And that's what the owners want to see, is they want to come next year and see all the hitching posts up. You guys tried hitching posts, numbers, that's emergency. If they're not there, you guys can help with the cost by having some. And giving the owners a notification, give them 30 days to do it on their own. And saying, we're going to just take it upon ourselves to do it. I thought that was mentioned at one of the boards, is we're going to notify everybody. After that point, we're just going to start installing the hitches ourselves and bill you. I could be wrong about that.
We can't let the homeowners install them themselves because there's wires underground. We can't trust them to be digging in the right spots. I'm sorry. We install them. Yeah. So there's a reason why we're doing them. Yes, is it taking too long? Sure. But a lot of other things have come up that were more important that we handle those first. We're doing them. We do them as fast as we can. We can hire a lot more employees if that's what you really want us to do. But I will tell you right now, when we put out ads for employment and offer a salary, we get laughed off the page for what we can afford to pay people.
Well, okay, like I said,
So-
communication comes and goes in bits and pieces, and a lot of owners just want it resolved quicker than later. It's a software program, and I know you've been working on it hard for several months, and I understand you're in a new position. But making excuses that I don't have time, you're being paid now, so excuses aren't gonna work anymore. And it takes you 16 hours a day during seasons to get your job done, that's 16 hours during the day. Off seasons, that's a different thing, because not a lot of people here, you got a lot more time to headstrong everything and get it done. Because you said, I believe in one of the meetings, we're gonna have it up by Memorial Weekend or somewhere, July weekend or something like that. And but not having an update where the contractor is paying already, that we're giving money to, which comes out of the funds, and saying, well, we're hoping to have it this year. It changes the tone of it, is like, you don't know when it's gonna be done, and if there's a delay, just tell us there's a delay. And the information is 1,485 sites. And I prefer to have the site up and running with no flaws in it. That I would prefer, because coming up with a flaw makes you look bad and nobody else.
We have to test drive all of this internally before we turn it over.
But like I said, a lot of the communication is confidential to lot owners only. I'm on the email site, email address. I think they can send that information to me because I'm on there. So if you're not on the email address for documentations, I would strongly recommend they can do that. And then maybe they can start sending stuff on a regular basis, like the minutes and stuff through that. That way, by just being on a mailing list. I'm not sure if that can be done. That's not my knowledge.
Hey, everybody,
I think the
this
park-
is all problems that have arisen for the last 40 years that we're trying to fix in the last 4 months. We just hired this man. He's been bombarded. I own my own company in Berwyn, Chicago area. I'm a plumber. I own the company that I have to be at sometimes 5-6 days a week. And I've spent more time here than probably more of the employees that have spent here trying to fix problems, along with Brian and along with Terry. My wife has been here tremendous amount of hours working on stuff. We work together. We will get this fixed. You cannot fix 40 years of stuff that's been lapsed in 4 months. It can't happen. We do appreciate what you guys have said to us. We really do. Because that's the only way we're going to know what's wrong. Because I'll tell you the truth, sometimes I shut Facebook off because some of it is pretty ignorant.
90%.
So if you have a problem, Brian has a email address. Send it to him. He will get back to you, okay?
I have an apology. It wasn't Mr. Kennedy I dealt with, it was you.
Yes, you're right. You're right. And I did turn that into the office.
And I just wanted a question. Your,
All right.
Woodsmoke Ranch audit team,
Pardon me?
your Woodsmoke Ranch audit team that sent out this paper on September 15th of 2022 that did audits, how did they not find an embezzlement?
All right, we can't get into that.
Can't
We
talk
can't
about
talk.
You can't talk about
Well, then why did
No.
you ask the question? You know we can't talk about it.
but it's,
Other people are asking questions too.
It's under investigation. At this time, we cannot talk about it.
well, they should have found something.
Okay.
I have one other thing I want to bring up to people, because lately I have been getting a lot of phone calls from dog owners. Please, listen. Shh. Dog owners with their dogs on leashes being attacked by dogs off leashes. There are a lot of dogs that, a lot of times you go by a lot and you see a dog run up and the homeowner says, oh no, my dog don't bite. It's bull crap. We're not allowing that. If your dog is not on a leash, you're going to get fined for it. It's very important. The people that have their dogs on leashes, their dogs are being attacked because they can't get away.
And
So I can't believe how much people just won't put their dogs on a leash. That's the only way your dog is legally out of your trailer, is on a leash.
You're next. Go ahead.
All right, guys, you do a great job, no doubt about it, but we do need a little more information. As far as the pools, you didn't tell us till Thursday before Memorial Day, they weren't gonna open. That's horse shit, guys, so blind mitigation, they weren't gonna open. Just saying.
Okay, thank you. What can we do about it? It's past Memorial Day.
Go ahead.
Just a quick question. You just were talking about fines for people who don't have their dogs on leashes, et cetera.
I'm sorry.
Fines for the no
People who don't have
leashes.
their dogs on leashes and whatnot and fines. Is there a list of fines that we would be able to see for dogs on leashes, for grass not being cut, for certain things like that? And if I were to come into the office and ask for a copy of something, how much it costs? Because Sherry, a lot, 11:30.
Sherry, I'm in charge of the rules regulation, and that is in process. I just got delayed because of other stuff that happened. I wanted this done before the last meeting, but
So then to back up of that, how do we charge somebody a fee if we don't know what it is?
that is a state of Illinois. I don't know how we set that fee. How do we set that fee?
For the fines?
No, for the copies of stuff.
I think she was asking about the dog fines.
Oh, the dog fines?
How much do they know what their fines are?
It varies.
Okay.
We talked about, Illinois, and I'm sorry if I'm talking for you guys. The office is required to give owner documents within 10 days. With a minimum.
We're talking about dogs.
No, she's talking about both.
I'm just like fees and, because you pay
Right.
$22 for paper.
We charge the owner for the copies. You also have the option of going into the office, asking for the documents,
Yes.
and taking photos yourself.
Yes, of course.
If you don't want to pay the fee, go in the
Well,
office.
we asked, but nobody knew what the fee was. We asked
There's a
funds, and
There's a
nobody
maximum
did.
of $350 the office has been charged. It's a copy of cost and it's the labor to pull the document. So if we ask for one thing,
No, I understand.
no, if we ask for one thing, it should be very reasonable cost. If we ask you for 3 years of documents.
Right, no, that I, okay, absolutely, but the thing of it is like we said, hey, let us know what it costs beforehand, and nobody did. So now we're like, hey, it's $22 for copies, and that's kind of,
Yeah, it does.
That's double. that would-
Okay. Any more questions? We,
Right over here.
okay.
If voting is supposed to be anonymous, why do we have to put all our personal information on the ballot?
Voting is only anonymous if you show up at the voting poll the day of the election. It's just like if you have an absentee ballot. You have to sign the form on an absentee ballot. That's the same thing we do if you're not going to be there. So if you're there on the day of the election, you can bring your ballot in without anything else. You give them your lot number and that's it. But if you want to do it by mail or drop it off ahead of time, we got to make sure only one person is voting on each light, just like absentee, so you have to sign the form. The form came from our attorney, and this is the way that we have to do it. All right? Yes.
I have a quick question. I went to my email has been there, it has never changed. I went to the office, as they said, go check to make sure we have your email. I never did anything on email, and if I do, how is it addressed? Does it say Woodsmoke branches? I don't know if it's a spam or whatever. I mean, I never, since you guys, 2 years ago, or maybe longer, asked for our email address to update.
Do you go into your spam to see if that's where it went?
I go into everything.
The new one keeps going into spam. Even the new one, even every time I mark it not spam, it still goes to my spam.
So then the question is, how is it, does it say Woodsmoke branch?
It says office, I believe the office of Woodsmoke.
It does have Woodsmoke.
Yeah, the office is the first.
Because I go into spam and everything, and it doesn't.
All right, everybody is starting to leave, so we're going to end it.
I'm going to make a,
I'm new, my name is Brad, 1236. I know I've talked to neighbors.
What? Yeah, there's been we have no intentions on bringing golf carts in. All right, so if you want to sit down and have a talk about it, we can talk about it, but I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes while these people listen to it. But, yeah.
Like I said, it's just, I know it's been brought up before.
Yeah.
The people I've talked to, and I wanted to hear the reasonings behind
Yeah.
it.
it's in the bylaws. That's what all I can say right now.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
I didn't make them bylaws back then.
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
I'm
40 years ago, I wasn't out here. I wish I was.
I'm going every time.
I wish I was. Hey, guys, we got to go back into closed session for more business for, so I make a motion to adjourn this meeting and go back to closed session.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.